it's sort of set a bar, I think,
Yeah.
for me, and I really think I'm carrying that forward into anything else that I do, because it's possible to create that sort of environment and come out with a really beautiful piece of work, you know, that feels fulfilling to everyone. It doesn't have to be fraught.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Hi, how are you? Doing good.
I'm doing great. I had a lovely, bittersweet time watching Good Grief. And my first question for both of you is how were you introduced to the film? And what was it that first spoke to you about the screenplay?
For me, it came through as an audition through my agents, and I read the script and just thought it was so beautiful, very unexpected, the directions that the story goes in. And I really identified with the character of Thomas. And I think it was that, the thing that he speaks to about things that are unrequited, and sort of being outside of the norm, or that's how I perceived it anyway. That's what really made me relate to him and the film.
In a rather common way, I received an email from my agent with the script, which is not often the case. So I adore the story, bittersweet, profound, mixed feelings. I sent a tape in, and we did a scene with Dan through Zoom, because he was in LA, I was in Paris. And to be sure that we had the right chemistry, and I think it worked because I'm here.
Yeah. It looked good on screen.
Pretty good chemistry, I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Himesh, I love that this is really a love letter to friendship, however complicated it may be. And Mark and Thomas's is very complicated indeed. Can you talk about exploring that relationship to Mark through Thomas's perspective?
Yeah, it was interesting, because they've got a history. And we had a really generous sort of rehearsal period that was just me and Dan and Ruth just sort of sitting, talking about our characters, a lot about ourselves as well. And it's lent to a really lovely friendship between the three of us, but it really also informed building the friendship that you see on screen and really shaping those histories. And the one between Mark and Thomas is so fraught with something, again, maybe unrequited from Thomas's point of view. I think maybe Mark is a little more settled on it. Obviously, his life's moved on to the point where, he has a husband and everything. So, whereas Thomas is maybe feeling that he's still in stasis to some degree. And I think that maybe informs where things go in Thomas's mind, at least, in the aftermath of what Mark is going through.
Oh, no, I think Theo really comes in and sweeps Mark off his feet. He's exactly what he needs in that moment. And so I'm wondering, what is it that you think Theo sees in Mark when he first sees him?
Theo is a breath of fresh air in Mark's life at that point. And I love that relationship between them two. And being able to put a smile back on someone's face, maybe it's something really exciting in a way. And maybe a chemistry as well. You don't really know why you're attracted to someone sometimes. It's just a glimpse, and why not?
Dan is your scene partner for both of you, but also the director and the writer. What's it like collaborating with him as he puts on all these different hats?
I found it to be really amazing just watching him do it. He made it look so easy.
Yeah, he has two brains.
I think so. 2, perhaps 3.
Yeah, 4.
He has multiple brains. And he made it look really easy. But I think, not to speak for him, but I think it seems to me that he surrounded himself, in terms of his crew, with people who are really very good at what they do. And it meant that it probably relieved some of the pressure on him in terms of having to manage the running of the whole set. But he set a tone that I thought was lovely. I think often the director has to set a tone. And for me, it felt very collaborative and very fun.
Yeah.
And also really artistic. The relationship between him and Ulla, our DOP, was really important, because I think Dan was very specific about the way the film was going to look. And it just gives everyone a sense of confidence, you know,
Yeah.
that there is a vision there and we're all following that. And he can put on all these different hats without anything being compromised.
We're really open to conversations and new ideas. A dream partner.
Yeah.
You mentioned Ruth, her character of Sophie. She's like the life of the party, the glue that holds the friendship together. Can you talk about specifically how Thomas feels towards her and like maybe that kind of like the overprotectiveness, if you will?
Yeah, I think it's a sort of sisterly relationship there. The difference of, you know, someone like Thomas who's quite sensible and quite, you know, staid in how he approaches things, as much as he also does let his hair down sometimes. He does it in his own way. And I think he probably did follow her down certain paths when they were younger. I feel like maybe he's feeling that maybe she needs to find her own way to some calmer, sort of centered place. But he's also intelligent enough to not be too sort of prescriptive about how that's going to happen, until he kind of has to be to some degree, you know, as we see later on in the film, when she scares him, really, you know, it just goes a bit too far. It's that, you know, I think he's been very forgiving of Mark and Sophie for a lot of things, because he loves them more than anyone probably, and I think, but there is a limit to that, you know.
One of my favorite moments is the karaoke scene where Theo comes in and sees Mark singing his heart out. You did not get to participate. You didn't get to join the
singing,
karaoke.
no.
So sad. What song would you have
Off
sung?
the record, maybe.
What is your favorite karaoke song, or what song would you have sung?
Dan's song, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is like the second time that Theo has seen him in a very different environment.
Yeah, with the blue tongue.
Yeah. What is that second impression like? How does that shift his perspective, if at all?
Find it funny. He was not expecting at all to hear from him. So it's a nice surprise. And when he arrives, see the whole scene, and it's going a bit wild in there. So okay, that kind of man. Okay, why not?
I know Dan said that he wrote this like coming out of the pandemic, also like dealing with grief and like how each person handles it differently, or when they start to open up to it, if you will. What did each of you take away from having worked on it? What did you feel was most significant for you?
Short of just having a great experience and really loving working with everyone and feeling like I've got some new friends in the world, it gave me a sense of the kind of tone that I like to be around on set. You know, like I said, that Dan set a certain tone. You said it felt collaborative. I agree with that. I think it was just a lot of different facets that made it a really sort of ideal working environment. It sort of set a bar, I think, for me, and I really think I'm carrying that forward into anything else that I do, because it's possible to create that sort of environment and come out with a really beautiful piece of work, you know, that feels fulfilling to everyone. It doesn't have to be fraught. So,
No,
yeah.
we had time to do the scenes. So nice.
Arnaud, I believe you're going to be in Kaiser Karl,
Yeah.
which sounds fascinating to me. You're going to portray like a famous designer. What's it like to embody like a real person?
It's a hell of a job. A big transformation, mental preparation, and it's quite something. And it's quite something to get out of the role. I felt a bit. We were two for 6 months. Yeah, it was quite something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then on like, I guess like Unreal side, I believe you're in the franchise. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I love that's like another like entry into this like superhero fatigue meta conversation. Can you talk about what that's like?
Yeah, it was great. We shot the pilot last year, just before the strike, and I was kind of sad that it was coming to an end, because I really wanted to carry on, and we get to carry on next year. And it's very, very intelligent, the way that they've sort of built this world, which you'll see. And I've since had conversations with people who've dipped a toe into that world, and it feels like we've started on the right path in terms of accuracy. So yeah, and it's it's a sort of pinch myself group of people that I'm getting to work with. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to it.
I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
I just realized Daniel Bruhl is in both of those things.
Yeah.
Have you already compared notes about working with him?
No, we haven't, but we'll do it. Why don't we do it now? So he's terrible, right? He's awful, terrible human
awful.
being.
Very bad person.
Yeah.
No, not
really
nice.
awful.
Not nice.
Yeah. Shame.
Well, now we know. So just stay away from him.
Daniel, hi. We love you.
When it came to filming Good Grief, do you each have a scene that was most either challenging emotionally for you or most fulfilling afterwards?
For both of those, the Ferris wheel scene for me, really. It was challenging in many ways, really.
Were you on, you're on the Ferris wheel? It's actually
on the actual Ferris wheel. We shot that for real, and found out, I think, the day before that we weren't going to have full control of it, as we were previously told. So then the pressure was even higher to get it right within a certain period. And then, of course, you have to hit the right part of the scene at the right point so that it cuts together properly. And then on top of that, it's a very emotional scene, and also it was so cold up there. So there was a lot of challenge to be overcome, but I think we got there, and I'm very proud of how the scene turned out. So.
It was a great scene, and no one got sick.
No,
I
don't think so.
That's trapped.
I actually got sick before the karaoke scene.
Yeah.
And my voice was completely gone, basically. And so the bad singing is actually because I was
not acting.
Yeah.
Would you say, here's a question for you, because no offense to your wonderful voice, there's the running joke about Sophie singing.
Yes.
And then I was like, is Thomas singing better than Sophie's? Is that on purpose?
Yeah, I don't know. It was, I think, illness sort of helped me in that regard.
There you go. Wonderful, wonderful. And for you, what was the most...
It was my first big role in English, so quite challenging. And playing among such incredible actors was quite something as well. So, yeah, I was very excited, but very... it was stressful too, but yeah, we got along, I think.
Can't see any of that stress on screen.
No.
Okay.
No. Do you feel more confident now going into English language roles?
Yes, I would love to, yeah, but one step at a time.
And did you get any advice or did you have any discussions with Dan, like from a directorial perspective, before scenes, after scenes?
On English or on
English or just like
your
backstory?
We did a lot of readings, talking a lot about the character. He was really involved in Theo's silhouette as well, which was really important to him and to me. So a lot of talks, but like very organic talks. Nothing, you should do this, it's going to be like this. No, what do you think? That sort of conversations.
Speaking of silhouettes, more literally, I guess, did you guys actually have to sit for your paintings? When Dan...
No, we didn't. Shame, really.
Yeah.
Would have been nice, but the lovely paintings all the same, right? Gorgeous.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Where are they?
I don't know. I feel like Dan's maybe hoarding them
His house?
somewhere. Yeah, we'll go over at some point and they'll just be up on the wall.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much.
Thank
you guys
you
are great. The movie is fun, sad, all things. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.